Welcome back. Another day, and today I'd like to do a bit of drawing. Just like some placeholder stick figure art. What tab makes no sense for me? Probably that. This doesn't need to be open, this can be minimized. Open our editor for drawing, and draw a few of the attack, because without visuals, how is someone going to know what the heck is happening? And since Steam is currently not open, my editor will take a bit to open. That's fine. I guess in the meantime I can say I need to record some other stuff for I need to record my testing on some people who are into fighting games at some point. Did I make an actual install? I still I will use it. If this is the install, I don't see any problem with that. I will need to uninstall it from Steam. I also need to open Steam, uninstall it. It's art, painting, and vectors. Okay, Steam is not opening. Why? Maybe because this is running. I now have two versions of the same thing installed on the computer. Steam is not running, and Caden is apparently on, but not off. Again. It's off. Steam, please run normal. Hmm. Oh, hey, oh, seems like it might be doing something. How should I install my Steam install? There we go, finally. Jeez, that took forever. Paradox. Okay. Do you have a question? How I have two versions open, don't I? That's nothing. Okay, let's go to the Steam and uninstall the non-store-based one. Fix the editor. Library. This shenanigans. Manage. Uninstall. Yep. Okay. Install. It's gone. The shortcut. This I open to dash instead, which is it without running through Steam. Okay. Cool. There's a lot of things, man. Cover status. Okay. I want to make a new file. I need to measure around the size of the pixels for the players just to see what I'm working with. So we have 32 and 16. Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. So 32 by 16 in the width. I should not have chosen this size. Darn it. Draw a circle. What do the hitboxes and hurtboxes look like on Street Fighter? This is the official thing. Yeah, it covers the head. Okay. That's fine. So cover the head, stick figure. I'm just gonna draw some basic lines. Okay. Is there a mirror tool? I see. I think by accident I slightly moved perspective, but it's bad. So, ooh, how do I think that? Okay, that's not a good sign. Okay. So, sure. I guess that's fine. All right. Save. I need to rename this one. Oh, name standing stick. That, hmm. I like this reusable animations idea. Card builder. Oh, interesting. Interesting. There's some interesting stuff here. Okay. Free. I have to log in. What do you mean? Oh, well. Okay. What are these? Ay, ay, ay. Is that good for grid size? Sure. Okay. But I'd like to make a new tab or a new thing. Okay. Um. hmm, In there and in there. Rename the folder to Stickman. Okay. Anyway, file. If I export, starting stick. Okay. That's fine. I think that's fine. Save. And then new resets. 512 divided by 2 is 256. Zero aspect ratio. Add a reference layer from the same thing we just used. Wait, it needs to be larger than 5. So, okay. Is there no way to change the workspace? I don't know. Okay, right click. I am a little curious, but oh boy, there's a lot of things here. I have no idea what any of this will do. Also, not what I wanted. I don't want to see the timeline, please, and thank you. Close. Um, is there none? Feels like there's none. Close. No. File. Open file, see if it made a new one. It did not, so file, new, resets 512, 5512, create, add, no, delete, add reference layer, that's Stickman, reference, How, how do I... How do I move it? I should have made them a little taller, or I'll make the art overstep a little. I don't know if it matters too much. Everything's adjustable anyways. Okay, are their legs long enough? I think they're too tall on the spine. So, again, yeah, let's start with the overhead, because I think that's the easiest for me. So, stick figure head, about that size. Leaning over. Is it not delete? Just a line. Just a line. Why is it so thin? Stroke line with pixel width 1. No thank you. Um, 10, 16. Make their thing shorter. Um, let's add a new line where they go like elbow into elbow. Mm, no, the body should be more aligned. Select and transform this one. Rotate. Move. You snap. It's the problem that I'm snapping. Hmm. The head's over here. And then his arm is bending for the other one this way. Skip from here to here. I really have not gotten anything great. Feels. Oh my goodness. Where is the snap? Can I turn it off, please? Layer. This thing here. Yeah, snap here. More organic. Maybe we're gonna move. Okay. Then I guess it should be a bent knee. Okay, I think that's nicer as well. So draw this. No, controls it. I don't want to be on the same path. I want a new path. Okay. New path. Let's go here, here, here. Okay. Okay. No, I don't like how path works. It's just weird. Um, this layer doesn't need to exist. Or does this one? Where is the arms? This layer is weird. This single piece of the arm. This one. This piece. There we go. Okay. I like this a bit better because it has the rounded lines. But it's fine. It's the draft. Okay, so this would be the overhead. New folder. Paths. Okay. So now I can move this all together. Step forward overhead. Good grief, he's not at all the height he needs to be. Head, I think to there is fine. Leg, increase. Other leg, increase. Edit the path. Select this portion. Then move the arm up to the head. The other arm up to the head. And go ahead with that, I think. Adjust this. Go in. It seems like path is the most editable. Nicely editable. Okay. It's about the same length, but height has been cut down because he's not supposed to be that tall. So I'll increase the height by moving the legs up, giving tons of leg room. What's this play? You see on the right, which is nice. How do I delete a specific point? Oh, okay. This tool's a little weird, but alright. And then sync this one, make it a little bit larger. Sync this, select this one, make it a bit larger. This one, put the arm out forward, bring it in a little. This arm is too long. I think that's fine. Okay, if I would stop doing all that. Okay. Alright, so that's a thing. I think for the baton weapon, when I put the placeholder stuff, I'll just draw it in a different color for now. Okay, yeah, alright. So, I think that's fine for the overhead. However, the center of mass looks bad, so I think I should change where this leg is, what it's doing. Doing like that. And then I feel this leg needs a bit of a bend. A bit more forward. Is that right? The center of mass, does that make sense? No. I don't know, actually. Where's the human center of mass? Is it like near the belly? No. Well. Save this. Starting stick. Overhead. File. Export. PNG. Okay. The reusable animations thing looks interesting here for, all these normal attacks that I'm gonna have when I get there. Okay. So we have overhead, new, 512 by 512, and then reference layer, starting stick. Parents overhead stick. I like this one a lot better. And then I could draw an explosion as well. Might be just a red circle or something. For, simplicity's sake. Should sweep be down heavy or down forward heavy? I forget. I don't know. Put a note in my sketchbook regarding that. So let's go with jab. I should have drew the idle stance, actually. That would have made more sense. Okay, vector drawing. First off, circle. Okay, second off, disable the... Okay, it's fine. I find keyboard shortcuts. V and P. VP. Okay, V. Here. Vector line from here to here. 16 pixels. V. I move this thing. Rotate. Man, that feels long. Okay. A little higher. Mm, this part should be vertical. It could be straight like that. Then this part here. Oh, interesting. Bezier curves. How do I... Don't have to create a new layer every time. Shift. Shift, okay. Okay. jab, and okay, does this work? That's a jab. Something more like this. Is that gonna fine? Okay. And this one a bit lower for the knee, and that's fine. So this would be jab. Owie. This is gonna take a while. Let me copy this. New folder, put everything in it. Okay. Control C, I've copied it. File, new, presets, 512, preserve, sure, Control V, and then just adjust this line, aim up, and add a gun shape. Which for me is just going to be 2 squares. That is the worst gun I have ever seen drawn, basically ever. Okay, and then these two I want control. This rectangle, Okay, control, shift, shift. Why is it cutting everything else out? No. New folder, gun, right? Okay, gun, gun. Yes, gun. Rename, gun. Rename, man. And I have the wrong tool selected. Gun. There we go. Now I can do what I need. Down. Also down. Perfect. Save. Shoot up. LS jab. I'm starting to think this would be like the better starting pose, the idle pose. A little bit, a little bit. There you go. Okay. Okay. And then file, export, cab, file, export. Up, save. I never decided on a neutral heavy, did I? Oh, I know I did. Yeah. Um. Ay, ay, ay. Mm, this is this drawing thing is strange with TalkBack. Also, I just wish I could like duplicate easy. File new 512. Create. Go to this one. Just copy it. I'll see. My name. Control V. If I do this, I get nothing of use. Okay. Then you can put this down, rotate it, and then put the hands. No, I did not want to do that. Oh, did it combine them? I didn't want to combine them. I wanted to keep them as vectors. No, that's not what I want. Copy, paste. No. What did I do differently? But no, no. Doesn't make sense anymore. These are all vectors. Why is it not working? Okay, then why did that work? What's the difference between these two? Toggle high resolution preview. Yes, I guess. And then for you, you also have it on, but I don't know what the difference is. Why did this one work fine? This one doesn't. I just want to copy, paste, and have it be a full folder. Okay. And then done. new folder, right? And I want to take this folder outside of the first folder. Rename to done. Rename to man. Okay, and then we take done. We take it as a whole object. Rotate it here. How's it snapping? There we go. Okay, okay. Save. Shoot up. Oh, wait, no, rename it. Save as root down file. Export as shoot down. Okay. I think it's also partially my sleep deprivation and the very, very large unfamiliarity of using this tool. So let me go back to Godot and not suffer exhaustion of not knowing what to do by working on the ice block. Agent player stuff, attacks. Fireballs made. Okay. First, let's just simply make a queen that can be spawned. Node 2D. Not really a Node 2D, actually. I want a rigid body 2D. I want this the root. I want this gone. I want this to have a shape. Add collision object. Collision shape. And then we'll just go with the square. We'll focus in on it. We'll zoom in a little bit. We can give it a sprite. Child notes sprite. I'm just going to give it a simple, solid color. No. Canvas texture. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with gradient. Exhausted. I can go like this, and I can go gradient, and then I want to change the colors from this color to two other colors. Also, change this to 32 by 32. This should be on top. And seeable. Save so far. Ice block. Spawn able ice block. In the new organization, entities, agent player stuff. It's going to be in the attacks. I think it makes sense. So we have the scene for this. Cool. What has happened? No, that's what's supposed to happen. Sprite. Sprite. How do I change the color? There we go. Good. And blue. Nice. Simply ice. If I wanted to improve it, since this is, just a placeholder, I'd add maybe some cracks or maybe some less just pixels. Sorry, some more pixels rather than just nothing. Is 32 by 32 enough? Or should I make it bigger since I can jump higher? Let's make it 64 by 64. Wait, how tall is the player? I think he is 32 tall? 32 pixels tall. That's fine. Alright. Save. Okay. Then I need to edit the attack manager. Why are those missing? New folder. Oops. It muted on its own. I want to make sure things. I get it. Movement scale. Gravity dash. There's a jump. It's probably in the movement. Um, opening that, yeah, that does it. Okay. So in the attack manager, I need to add support for spawn solution. So first off, I have a script for something that spawns, I believe. Spawn test scene. Okay. Spawnable projectile. Auto moving projectile. It extends active hitbox, but should it extend a little bit more? Hurtbox. Hurtbox, projectile. So projectiles extend hitbox, and the spawnable projectile expands active. I want spawnable projectile expand hitbox area. Does that cause issues? Yes. What is this warning? Enter shifts at tool. Okay, and then from hitbox we get the damage function that works well, but requires an attack manager, which is probably why I did that. And there's also a block check. Yeah, so that's going to be a problem. So I'll just leave that as active hitbox for now. Okay. I need to spawn the ice block, but I need spawnable ice block. Okay. It's just a collision object. Doesn't need a script. Doesn't need a signal or anything. Doesn't need to animate. What is this connected to? Yeah, animate. Okay. There's a child stuff, so it would be no frame timer. Um, no frame timer. Spawn interval. On the player, it wouldn't have a spawn interval. It would just spawn. Hmm. Is that the right thing then? It is read, which means I need to start streaming, which I already did an hour and a half ago. Uh, but that's fine. Spawn object. Is super dot process. Is this the thing that I can do? Super dots. There's not a ton as much here, I think. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Let me. I think I want to do it like this. I want to change this into spawn object as like an abstract. Shift at abstract. Okay. And then spawn objects is here as its own function. Tab func spawn. Do I need to add as self-add child? I don't think so. Oh, that's it. If I want this, otherwise I would do global position, not vector.0, but self dot global position. Right? Okay, and then I would call the spawn function here. I would then call position offset. I think would make the most sense to me. For this one, since it's supposed to be an abstract class, one second, uh, cannot be done directly. Instead, it must be inherited by other classes. Just instantiate class will result in an error. Hmm. How do classes work? We will ask about this. What is the difference between class and class name? Okay. If I if I make a class name with classes in it, can I reference them by class name dot class? Okay. Mm, I think func spawn. Class spawn projectile. Um, huh? Can they not all? Ink to spawn not declared in current scope, which is really annoying. Spawn. Can I go like thing to spawn here? Is that allowed? Okay, and now I get a warning. Local function tries to set an already declared variable at class line 2. Spawn. I don't know how this works, or how it would work. But because it's abstract, I don't think it allows me to put anything in there anymore. Spider, okay. If I remove this, do I get an error? What? How does an abstract function work then? GD script, I think. Nope. Global scope. Nope. Um, Node. Object. GD script. Yeah, okay. I like to work with abstracts. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hmm. Uh, I want to have a variable in the abstract class, but I don't want to redeclare it in the class name. In the class name, but I don't want to redeclare it in the class. Mm-hmm. Class name. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Why didn't I do that before? Now the warning is shadow only declared variable. Can I just go like this? That is fine. Spawn object. Projectile. Uh, okay. And then copy, paste, layer, or no, collision box. How the hell do I spell collision? Oh, there it is. Conveniently located. Position offset has the same thing. Then what do I do after? Let me test this scene in case it broke. Yes, it did break. Why? Um, hmm. I wanted this to be attached to a nude. Is that not possible? Can I redeclare class name? Class underscore name? Is that allowed? Unexpected class name and body. Mm, well, I guess I'll just go underscore class name and take this elsewhere. This is incorrect. Does this make sense? Wait, why? Why is this not working anymore? Does it have to be added as child? Yes, for some reason. Okay. I guess that's just how it's gonna be. Uh, uh, Spawn object. Just no. This is interesting. Let me try to spawn child scene. Actually, no, not even child scene. Reset, add, hack scene. Nope. Quick load. Um, Spawnable ice block. And just run it. Sure. It spawns an object, it spawns it on a timer, and that's because it's using the projectile spawning. Can be called projectile or repetitive spawn. Don't know, I don't know, I don't know. What would make the most sense? Let me ask. How do people normally make a an object spawner. Um, could have a boolean for it. Uh, pool size. Okay, I guess that makes sense. For object in pool, if object not visible. Okay, okay. You know, I'll take it. Okay. I need both one for players slash entities to spawn, which you gave, and I need a thing that repeatedly shoots like a turret. Yeah, so let's actually try to understand this first. Yep. So, for the pool size, which this has to be made, which there's the size 10 things will be instanced immediately. They will be visible. They will be added to the pool. Then spawn something when a spawn is called. delete this spawn projectile. Actually, I still need the code. Oh. Okay, I also need my frame timer. Search. Actually, export. Var is underscore timer base. And then go to the attack so I can do the same thing I did for validation of this. Back, back. Use space character for indentation. Where? Where are you? Where is this evil thing? Such a thing is not allowed. What the hell? Why would you do this to me? This is not okay. Okay, I should know this. Where is validated property? Nope. Back. Validate property. And I don't need both. I just need one, and is underscore timer base. Then change the dictionary names. Yep. Alright. If it is timer based, add an add export var timer. Timer. I like my frame timers. They've been called, so I need to see what they want from Just telling me to get my stuff away from you kids. Okay. Alrighty, so, as frame timer, quotations, click off, click on, this on, needs to be a tool script, at, tool, save it, move off on, when is validate property run in attack? Is it run in process? No, it's just not. Okay. Which is surprising to me. Oh, that's because this doesn't exist. Okay, attack components, spawn object. Mm-hmm. Is timer based? Yeah, okay. If it's timer based, also delay. Int range 0, 1000, 1000, and thousands. Okay. Uh, delay, save. Okay. Spawn, despawn, and then ready, full size. I would then have to change the projectile to not be Q-free or something. Maybe if it's Q-free, it will. That does it for if ready. Yeah, so I'd have to not free it then. I want to be able to spawn maybe one, two, or three ice blocks at the same time. Um, but that's just the thing that is gonna be a bit of work. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So spawn, despawn, and whatnot, I will say partially written by AI. Enter partly written by AI. So when I want to spawn for object global position, if not, return object. I need to test this. I don't actually know how it works until I test it. Because right now it looks like it's spawning all of them at once. So let me go spawn other one of these, delay 100, and then run it in a process function. Underscore delta will not be used. Spawn is the vector dot 0. Run it, see what happens. They all spawn. Do they respawn? Nope. Let me change this to 10 to see if I actually see it in time. One, two, three. If timer. Huh? Huh. Dot is stop on spawn. And then this should be in a habit check. If is timer based equals false, and return. And then if edit engine dot edit is editor hint run the tool scripts else 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 colon run everything else. Anything specific about this that I can adjust? When I spawn it, for the thing is not visible. Global position equals position. I think you have no idea what the hell you were doing. Wrong scene. Spawn test. Wait, what? How did changing this break it? That didn't make any sense. Wait, no, position makes sense. Since it's vector.0 and then the object's global position should be set to that when it respawns. Wait a second, for object in pool? Mm-hmm. Despawns never called. If you set up a timer for each one, you start the timer, you stop that timer. Fire get available, which is for pool if not visible. Return object. I want this to loop after the timer. I want it to spawn again. I don't like this check visible. This scene. Stop. This scene. Something's gone back. Core object. Set this position to global 0. And set to visible return true. Else. Return null. Unreachable code. Do I even need a return? This spawns all of them. And the pool is no longer usable. Or the pool size. I can put a variable that's like current var current projectile equals int. I'll type int. So from 0 to 1, oh, Steam is running. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Stop that. You should move it down. Spawn and despawn. Would this cause a memory leak for the rigid bodies if it's like, yeah. Also, even if they're not visible, they're still enabled. Despawn queue free. And I would like this to be not a ready thing, but a process thing. Not a process thing. Fill pool. Function fills pool. Okay, then what? So, we fill the pool when we call the function, and we want to call it that adds child. No. Q free? Why does this feel annoying? Spawn object. Spawnable projectile. The thing has a timer check. Okay. When it spawns, it moves automatically, checks if it's still allowed to live, and then dies. Hmm. I am very confused. No, I don't need to despawn if the things respawn themselves. Um, don't fill a pool, I think. I should have just done this from the start. Max allowed to exist. They should probably have top level enabled too, I would assume. Now that I think about that part. Um, if timer base returned, else when the timer is stopped, start the timer and spawn a new projectile, and then run the timer. And then when it's off again, it runs again. So this is a loop for spawning again and again. That's only if it's timer based. Okay. Um, we would spawn. We would set visible. We would set global position. We would instantiate it. If self dot fit underscore children equals this, return, and don't spawn something. Um, and that's Max allowed to exist, which it shouldn't be this, it should be, that counted for child in self as get children, colon, count equals var count plus equal 1. So we count how many children in subset get children and make sure that they are, is it the scene? Draw the name. Okay, and then after what? We spawn the thing only if it's not exceeding the maximum amount allowed to exist, and we repeatedly spawn it on the timer. I think that's fine. I think the spawn, quick load. Ice block doesn't have a queue free. Open C, no, let me change it to the projectile. Run the scene. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that 11 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that dies immediately the next frame. Let me change this to 5 to test it better. Nope, it's just infinitely spawning. It should exit the function, no? Max allowed to exist size. Was not set to 5. Run it. Still infinite. Hmm. I'm suspecting this is 0. What is even that? What? Just nothing. That's not even being run? What? Script? If it stops, start the timer. Is timer spawned? Yes. If this is off, nothing should work, right? Yeah. It's on. The timer base is false, return. Okay, but if it is true, then the timer should start itself with the delay. It should spawn, should wait till the delay is over to spawn the next one. Let's increase the delay to 30. Just that that works. Yes. Okay. It gets it there and it spawns. It spawns with this like vector 0. This is never run somehow. Meaning if child equals thing to spawn is never run. I assume the for loop is run. Yeah. So then if child stop. Okay. F child is? Does that get me yet? If I just remove this, it works, right? Yeah, great. And now they're equally spaced. It's also because there's two children of it. That's why it's 3 and not 5. I can offset this in a ready function. Okay. Func underscore ready. For child in get underscore children dot size. I can just get the size. Um, um, var offset equals 0, not equals this add this minus it would be the max allowed usually would be bigger than the size. No, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't always be. So yeah, absolute, I think. Because I want the numbers to be the same, right? And then max allowed to exists equals max plus offset, right? And then run it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1 for some reason. Here. Somewhere between 6 and 7 children, which is the 5 plus the 2 here. That makes sense. Your export value has changed to account for other children. Excellent. Okay, so that's spawning the projectile on a timer, and only if it's on a timer. It's timer based and auto spawn. Spawn on condition and spawn on, or auto spawn. Would this be a signal to spawn the function? So let's go through the cases. So we have an automatic firing fireball projectile thing, or a turret. It would want to spawn automatically on its own with no thing talking to it. This is the case we currently have coded. The other case, that's probably most common, is the player inputs something, and then we need to tell it to spawn something. So I think this could be a signal, or connected to signals. Okay, what's the other case? Spawn on input, spawn on automatically, spawn on input then automatically, which would just change the isTimer based value to true. Spawn on input. If I do that, I would need this node itself to have a signal that activates spawn, or the attack manager just activates spawn, which means I wouldn't need a signal. Okay. I don't have a despawn or a class because spawn object, if I run it, timer based thing to spawn. What is this? This is the automatic projectile. Reset. Um, quick load. Spawn ice block. It stops after spawning. I kind of want it to force respawn. Uh, or the spawned locks when another one is called to spawn. It automatically dies. Right now we're just spawning a rigid body with no extra script on it. If I spawn with nothing on it, it has no way to delete itself and requires something else to delete it. Which could be when I spawn another thing too many times. So I think it should auto-delete the object after it needs to spawn again. Does that make sense or no? Man, why is this hard? So if I want to spawn the block, I spawn it, and then if I want to spawn a new block instead, I need to delete the previous block and spawn a new block. I can have a function called respawn. How would the respawn function work? It would take the oldest one, and then it would change its position for the ice block, or just spawn a new one. Max allowed to exist. I think that name is just long. Mm. Do you see any issues with this code. Mm. Ignoring and correcting it, assuming it was coded properly, then what logic is missing or is a problem? Mm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good point. I should have a delay start on the ready. And then that's on the if frame timer. Control S. Okay. No thing that checks things to spawn if assigned is null. The instantiate call will crash the game with no helpful error message. Make debugging. No check that frame timer is assigned. Current projectile is declared but never used. You have var current projectile. Top that reads nothing or writes nothing yet. Actually, that's fair. Hmm. Okay. I'm having trouble with the despawn, and I don't know how I want it to work when a player, since I want this one to work for both a turret and the player's input. Separate the trigger from the spawner. Keep the spawner purely responsible for spawning and despawning, nothing else. Let whatever decide. And then turret component owns timer. All spawner.spawn. And timer fires. Once input calls spawner.spawn. The button is pressed. Okay. So if this is removed, and this is removed, I won't need to validate property, and I can just take this part and delete this part. Save spawn object. Then this thing, I'd like to extend spawn objects to it as name it. Paste this code in because it matters. Remove this. I don't think I need this anymore since this would be some. Uh, anyways, this export variables are needed. Enter underscore process func. What is this warning? That's not needed anymore either. Um, okay, I don't think that's fair, and this doesn't exist either. Save, then turret, save, click on here. I have all the things. Next allowed to exist, spawn scene. It's not pretty, but it's there. It works. Okay, delay 10. Run the scene. Spawns 5, stop spawning them. Okay. And then I should have a despawn thing. So let me ask what it recommends. What? How should the despawn work to work for both versions? I prefer Q Q3. Spawned object handles its own death. Okay. Sure, but if I want to spawn a box on player input and then on the player, then I want to overwrite it. So I use the same box all the time if set to 1 minute. Okay. Overwrite on max. Get child 0. Um, I think this is actually, yeah, this would be the thing. Get child count. Is there just a function for get child count? Has that always existed? One second. Get underscore children child count. Oh my goodness, it does exist. Wow. Drag parentheses, of course. It's a common thing, I just don't recognize it. Okay, thank you. And then if overwrite on math is enabled, which would be a boolean, yep, and that would be in there. Okay, I think this is the right solution for me now. Uh, so then this would be checked if overwrite on max colon um, uh, get child.q3 underscore child 0.q3 problem. It may get rid of other important children. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes more sense. Uh, okay, so create spawn cube free filter function object is return instance valid. Mm-hmm. And then have an array. Would that be instead of or with? It would be spawn.size, override on max. The upper portion here would be needed, and the inside of the override would be different. Again, I really should mention in at least some message, use the tab instead of space. There's and then spawned this underscore and a variable called spawned underscore objects, and then array. Just array. Save. Reduce. Let's accumulate back. Back. Does that do it though? Okay. Let's change the scene to the fireballs. Override on max is not enabled for either of those. I am not appending it to anything. Right? That would be. Okay, we'll see. What is the logic error here? I really should have given it more context. Return to the wrong place. Always returns even after overwriting. Should be else. After overwriting, it deletes the old object immediately and returns without ever spawning a new one. Added child is missing. For setting position. Yep. There. Size. Yeah, there's a ton of logic errors here. Size. Clarity there. Cap uses child. Get child count instead of the thing. Uh, the ready math is also still a problem. Mm-hmm. Needs add child. Self dot add child spawned. It's overwriting, but the number is a little off, which I think might be this. Is there a frame where there's 6 of them? No, there is not. Okay. Okay. So that overwrites on max. So let's test that now with the spawning the blocks. Okay, so now it's just a bunch of stuff falling. Okay, great, wonderful, epic. That helps so much. Okay. Alright, anything else to recommend? And can you put a documentation thing at the top only? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, check on thing to spawn it as the very first line of spawn right now. It's never assigned in the inspector instantiate will crash. Okay. What do you mean by crash? I will simply get rid of it and run. Yeah, okay, you can't instantiate on the thing literally not set. Okay, yeah, fine. Fine. You didn't use tabs. I should ask it for more documentation things. This is actually pretty helpful. Assign thing to spawn in the inspector. Set to control how many things can exist at once. Enable max overwrite to replace the oldest object when the cap is reached. If this is desired. Connect external signal or call from spawn from uh, from other scripts. Actually, it's not from other scripts at all. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. So spawning took only several hours and AI to help a little bit, but we now have it working in an ideal way and compressed, um, independent from player spawning or um, the attack spawning things. So if so, with this current setup, if the attack manager has a special move that um, if I do emotion input and were to say spawn object, it would be under frame on what frame it spawns. Uh, okay. And then would I need another node, or at least an extension of this node that's like, okay, player, spawn, object, projectile, etc. Mm, these auto-moving projectile has animation stuff as a resource, so I think it's fine there. Interesting, 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 interesting. Yep. So then what's next? Auto moving projectile. Uh, so let me check that I have the things I actually spawn object. Yes, this is the good function. The extended thing for turret. Turret, 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 turret. This shall be moved to an entity in enemies. Yes, add new folder, stationary, non-moving turret code. That makes sense to be there. Attacks, animations, and enemies, targets. I don't know. This needs to exist somewhere, I just don't know where. Do I have an other? None of these need to exist, actually. Because they don't really exist on their own. Except the hitbox, maybe. I don't know for that yet. It's almost by, so it's almost time to end the stream. Once again, literally no one has ever sent a message. I guess I should make a second video, or a video on like progress updates or something. I don't know. I have opened a bunch of unnecessarily opened objects. Okay, spawn ice block works. I think tomorrow. Um, spawn move. All right. And spawn a move. And because I have to spawn, I think it might make a bit more sense. No. This is one way, but I'm right. There's other things that it could do, I think. Okay. Hmm. Animation resource. Animation tool. You know, both of these are important. Yeah, darn it. Systems, autoload scripts, movement related. Animation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. I think before I close, I'll actually ask it to do a basic documentation on some other things. Could you document this one too? Mm-hmm. 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 Is a second print? Oh, I didn't. know that there was a print there, and I'm pretty sure it should have been here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Um, it's also the the parent of. Actually, no. I think mm, projects, add files, GitHub. Wants access, verify your identity, knows which resources you can access X on your behalf. What does this mean? Great question. The app can act on your behalf in situations in which the app acts on your behalf to be according. For example, push changes you've authored, GitHub. Apps can only do things that both you and the app have permission to do. For example, if I have write access but the thing has read access only, then it can only read the context even when it is acting on your behalf. Similarly, if you have access to repositories A and B and the GitHub has access to B and C, the app can only access the um, grant the app permission to access the organization's files and resources that it requested. You also specify which repositories the app can access during the installation. Indicate which repository when you install a GitHub app versus giving it permission. Authorize Claude. When I install it on my account or organization that it has requested, you can also specify which repositories the app can access during the install process. When you authorize an app, you grant access to your GitHub account based on the permissions it requested. During the authorization, the app will indicate which resources the app has access on your account. When you authorize the GitHub app, you also grant the app permission. The app might read all your emails and write gists. And it is act on my behalf, know what resources I can access, verify my identity. You know, I can just ask it about itself. And I did copy it. Okay, back. General inquiry. If I give GitHub authorization, what are your limitations? Check them online as well. I don't want it to be able to push or pull. I mainly just want it to be able to read and write. Cloud Help Center, that's probably helpful. I can read file names, cannot read commit history, pull requests, read issues, other repo data. Uh, Only one GitHub account can be connected at a time, cannot switch between a personal work account without connecting. Everything selected has to fit within the context window, so very large code bases need careful file selection or it will get cut off. Sync is not automatic. If you push new code, you have to manually hit sync or I will be reading stale files. So issues are plausible. Let's read this. Quickly add button, projects. Alright. What cannot access repository if you enter a valid URL? It most likely means you are attempting to collect its repository private. Um, it is a risk. Mm-hmm. What else is there? What else would be good? I could try learning N8N as well, which would be able to get it done locally on my computer with hopefully something like a good AI agent. What's the best AI agent right now? AI code leader board. 4.7 thinking, 4.6 thinking. Yeah, no, they're just good at this stuff. Yeah. So I'd like to use a Claude or something up here. Um, it's just I don't know if I want to give it access when I don't fully understand how much access. As well as I would like to make things local. I would like to uh, learn how to use N8N myself locally on my computer. Because if I can run it on my computer, things are more private, and then I can delete all of my chat history with Claude, delete my Claude account, but keep the Johnson files inside of the game development project just so people can see that it exists and what I had chatted about, what I asked it, and learn from it. So I'll have to see. N8N is more of a question mark, and if I want to commit to N8N, I might as well not commit with Claude when there's uncertainty. Well, call it there. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow if anyone decides to show up, which no one does. So, yeah. Maybe I'll make a video tomorrow, like progress update or something.